Colleen, and welcome back to my bathroom. It's been a while since I filmed a video in here. Apologies if you can hear my laundry going behind me. We just got back from vacation, so we have a lot of stuff going on. Alright, so today's video is trying out a skin clearing, unclog your pores kind of hack thing. So I really need to do this and I'm hoping it works because, oh, sorry, my boyfriend's playing video games. I have been off my skincare routine for a couple weeks now because I recently got LASIK. And so leading up to the surgery, I had to slow down on the makeup, as you saw in the last couple videos, plus I was wearing my glasses. And then after the surgery, I couldn't have any skincare, particularly soaps and lotions, but especially my chemical exfoliants and my hardcore stuff. So I laid off it pretty early because my skincare makes it so my skin is more sensitive to sun damage, and I couldn't wear sunscreen after LASIK. So it's been about 2 weeks since I have done my skincare. My skin has been pretty angry with me, so after I got LASIK, a few days later I was able to wear makeup again, but then the makeup made my skin break out. So it's been a mess. I've still got some pretty nasty little bumps that won't go away. So I'm hoping this will just help kickstart my skin back into a good routine again. I found this clearing out your pores routine on a blog, and I will link that down below. So the basic process of this is to start with clean skin. As you can tell, I just took a shower, so I am starting with clean skin. I'm going to apply a BHA product, and a BHA is a type of chemical exfoliant. You may know it as an acne fighting kind of thing, so salicylic acid is a BHA, so I have that. And then I will be doing a clay mask, and that's supposed to help draw out the stuff that the BHA kind of loosens up in my skin. Then you have to rinse off the masks, and then you're going to do an oil cleansing. So I have an oil cleanser that I use to take off my makeup, massage my face for 3 minutes. It's pretty intense. And then I get to wash my face with soap and hopefully be done. I'm very excited for this process because, like I said, I just need to clear out my skin. But I'm very excited for the oil cleansing part of this because when I use an oil cleanser to take my makeup off, sometimes if I massage my skin long enough, I pull up what's called grits, or little bits of dirt and gross stuff. So I'm hoping that happens today because it's very satisfying. Without further ado, I am just going to use my BHA product. I'm just using the Stridex in the red box. You can get this at any drugstore. I bought mine on Amazon because I was having trouble finding it in stores, which is crazy to me. This is going to be the easiest part of this whole routine. Basically, I am just going to rub this on my face, and it's supposed to sit for about 20 to 25 minutes so it has time to sink into my skin. Now, the reason why we're using a BHA chemical exfoliant is that it can cut through your sebum, or the oily layers of your skin. So it's supposed to get very deep into my skin. And I'm giving a little extra attention to my forehead because that is where I've been having the most bumps or breakout. And the thing about this stuff is it's kind of drying, so we'll see if the full 20 minutes actually happens. If my skin's getting unbearably dry, I will maybe come back in 15 minutes, but I want to let it have time to sink in, so we're just going to rub that in. Alright, now we're going to let that sit for about 20 minutes and let it do its thing, and I will move on to the next step. I've made it about the full 25 minutes, and so the next step is to put on the clay mask. So I thought this was a clay mask, but it's actually a mud mask. I think that might be the same thing, question mark? Either way, I'm using a mud mask. This is the Peter Thomas Roth Irish Moor mud mask. I got this in a set for the last holiday season in 2016. So my review of these is still coming. I know it's taken me a year to write it, but I just like to test out skincare for a long time. Anyway, I'm going to use the little applicator that comes with this mask, and I'm just going to throw this on. There's no tidy way to do this, so I'm just going to start. So I'm just scooping some out onto the little applicator, and we're going to do it. So I'm not going to lie, I'm a bit nervous about this step because every time I use clay or mud masks, they take so much effort to get off. I end up irritating my skin, and like making my breakouts worse. So I'm definitely nervous. So I'm probably just gonna keep this to like certain areas of my skin. Like I'm not going to do every inch of my face, but we're definitely gonna hit the important parts. I might be using too thick of a layer here. I have no idea. I feel like I'd rather go thick because if it's too thin, I feel like I'll have to rub more, and if it's thicker, maybe it'll just like come off easier. I don't know. Don't question my logic. I have no real logic there. And cool. So we're done. I look great. And it says on the directions for this whole routine to leave it on for as long as the mask says to leave it on. This one says up to 10 minutes. So I'm going to eat half of my dinner and come back and wash this off. So I'll be right back. Woohoo! It's been about 10 minutes. So I hope this has done its job. It looks similar to how it looked when I put it on, but I did put on a thick layer. So we're just gonna hope that everything worked out. Important instruction here is to rinse off this clay mask with a lukewarm / cool water. The point here being that all these products, the mask and the BHA, are so drying that you don't want to be putting hot water on your skin because it will leach out a little bit more of the moisture. So I'm going to keep the water on the cool side as I take this off. And then I'm going to, after I dry my face, apply my cleansing oil. So I have a solid cleansing oil. I have a little spoon. I'm going to dig it out and put it on my face. And I am going to leave this on my skin for, it says 15 minutes before rubbing it into my skin. So, important instructions here. I'm just going to go rinse this off and come back. That took a little bit of effort to get off my skin, but between this little applicator thing with the like rubbery bristles and my fingers, I was able to get it off without irritating my skin too much. And it actually looks and feels pretty good, which is great news. Because like I said, I was very afraid of this mud mask. Okay, so the next step is to use my cleansing oil. So I have this Clinique solid oil, which is like getting stuff on me right now for some reason. So because I have to leave this on my skin for 15 minutes without rubbing it, I thought the best way to do this would be to use a little plastic scoop and actually scoop out some of the solid and like spread it on my skin. Because typically I'll just rub my fingers in this and then rub it over my face, but that's obviously not going to work. So let's hope it's warm enough in my apartment that this melted, and it looks like it did. And now I am just going to rub this so it's spread across my face. And that actually seems to work pretty well. But I'm probably gonna have to go grab that jar again. I don't think I got enough. This feels very odd. I'm used to just rubbing this in my skin immediately, but it's just sitting on my skin. I feel like I have a layer of like coconut oil on my face, which I basically do. So I'm supposed to let this sit for 15 minutes, and I guess the theory behind this is that the oil will start pulling out those grits. So I am going to go finish my dinner and let this sit for about 15 minutes or so. It's been a little bit more than 15 minutes, and now it's time to massage the oil into my skin for 2 to 3 minutes. So it says to not press too hard or go any longer than 5 minutes because you could mess up your skin or get some broken capillaries, which are a problem. So I'm going to try and be very gentle. And it says if all goes well, I should feel grits or at least some like dead skin buildup. So let us start. Already this feels a lot oilier than when I usually do this to take my makeup off because I use the method where I scoop some out and like spread it onto my skin. So there is a lot going on. And I'm already feeling like there's some stuff. Oh yeah, this is already pulling up some gross stuff. I will try and do a gross close-up in a second. But I'm definitely feeling like that grittiness, so it's definitely getting stuff out of my skin. And a lot of it looks just like dead skin, but I'm getting some like dark things coming, like dirt coming out of my skin. definitely noticed that I went over a lot of the same sections multiple times, and I also have been trying to go different directions. So you don't want to just go one direction the whole time. You want to kind of like rough it up a little. But again, don't press very hard or rub very hard. So I've been doing this about a little over 2 minutes. So I think I'm gonna like calm down on the rubbing and carry on with this. So this was the last step in this like pore sucking out thing routine. Now I just have to rinse off the oil. This is the kind of oil where you add water and it turns into like a milky substance, and then you can wash it off. Most oil cleansers you can just wash off with a regular face cleanser. So I'm going to go do that. And then it says to carry on with your normal skincare routine. So I'm going to put on a hydrating serum and maybe another like hydrating product, as well as a night cream, because I just want to put a little moisture back in. My skin's not feeling too bad. Of course, I still have oil on my skin, but it doesn't feel too dry. But just to be safe, I want to add a lot of moisture back. So I am going to finish this up and let you know my final thoughts about this. Alright, to finish this up, I took off all the oil and then I used my normal face cleanser. I use a very mild cleanser that's a hydrating cleanser. Plus I used a hydrating lotion or toner, plus a hydrating serum, plus a lotion and an eye cream. So I went in with a lot of hydration afterwards, and I was noticing on kind of closer inspection of my skin that it does look a little bit more irritated than it did before I started this process. So I think between the mud mask and the rubbing, I kind of irritated my skin a bit. Because I've been off my skincare so long, I'm not totally surprised about that. I am just going to let it sit, and hopefully tomorrow morning it will start to clear up. But on a positive note, this really did seem to kind of jumpstart my skincare routine again. There was a ton of gunk in my skin. I tried getting a good close-up of the grits on my fingers and like the dead skin that I was finding. It's a little hard to show that on camera, so you're just gonna have to trust me that I was feeling a lot of stuff coming out of my skin, which just makes me feel pretty good just coming from that skincare hiatus and going into my work week. I should also note that none of the skincare products I used break me out. I'm not entirely sure about that mud mask. I mean, like I said, when I wear Claire mud masks, my skin tends to get kind of red and itchy, and I think that's just like because I have to rub so hard to get clay masks off my skin. I don't know if it's the product itself, but the Stridex, the oil cleanser, my face cleanser, all the hydrating products I use afterwards, all of those were regular products in my routine before doing this, so I know that they all work. If you are using new products to try out this sort of hack, I highly recommend doing a spot test before you jump in on the full thing. Alright, I'll stop babbling now. So please check down below in the description box for a blog post related to this video. I will have like my next morning update on there later. So please check that out. Read the post. I'll have a little bit more detail about all the products I used during and after this whole process, so you can see what exactly I've been using. It'll be sort of like a little sneak peek to my updated skincare routine, which is coming soon. I know I've been working on the whole skincare blog post for a while. I've been drafting them out, but like, it's kind of a big topic. I think I'm gonna have to do like a series of blog posts. But anyway, check down below for this post. This will be like a little introduction to some of the products I'm using. And that is it. Thank you so much for watching. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed it. And if you're looking for me, you can find me at any of the social media handles that you see down in the description box. Thanks again for spending time with me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.